Hi and welcome to Movies Remastered. What a time to be a Star Wars fan. What a finale to the Mandalorian. I mean, I'm still really speechless, and if my eyes look puffy, it's because I've watched it several times. And yes, Ryan Johnson was right. I did cry like a man baby. Now, obviously, I didn't do that in my watch party. I don't know if you've seen it, but the link's here. Because, unfortunately, I'm cursed with a critical eye. And the whole season for me was perfect. It was beautiful, other than the Mandalorian's face reveal and the CGI, only because of the uncanny valley. But as I said in that video, I was sure there was going to be a couple of YouTubers that were going to do the deep fakes, and I couldn't wait to see their videos. And it's been amazing. There's a couple out already, and within 3 days we now have a selection. So today's video, I want to go over the best one that I've seen so far. And I kind of knew this guy was going to be amazing. He's done some great stuff before. He really improved Leia, and he pretty much he's so good at deep fakes. So we're going to look into that. So let's jump into today's video. So what I've done is I've launched it in Premiere Pro just so we can go frame by frame and do a bit more insight into it. So the first thing I want to say is that I don't want you to get me wrong. I was absolutely in awe at the fact they brought Luke back. I absolutely loved it. But it was the fact that the CGI did pull me out of that scene. And it was tough for me to get back in. Obviously, Grogu and Din, their scene, man, I was welling up. I mean, there's probably not a dry eye in the place. If you did, you're probably not human. Come on, everyone cried, right? But yeah, like I said, it was the Luke CGI. Now, I'm not sure why Disney don't start going into deep fakes while they're so adamant about doing the computer graphic images. It's really tough to get the soul of a human, the glint, the spark of a living creature in CGI. And with deep fake, what they do is they take photo stills of the original, and you can get like a panoramic view from side to side, face on, and it only takes about maybe sort of 10 seconds worth of footage for the computer to learn and the AI to map it onto somebody else's face. It's similar to what Disney did, but it uses the still images, so the realism is a lot more natural looking, and I really prefer deep fakes. So let's have a look. Now this is the amazing scene. Like, as soon as I saw that green saber and the glove, my heart was great. It was just so lovely to see the respect, the final respect from a Star Wars character, and Disney telling a story that we've always wanted. So let's jump in. Big reveal, man. Wow, so look at this. So obviously this one's the original and this one's the deep fake. And I thought the first part was great, but it was kind of like the shading, and like I said, the eyes were a little bit off for me. There was a lot more sort of shading around the nose area that just didn't look natural. And even when you see the stills and stuff that people have been posting on Instagram and stuff, it doesn't look natural enough. But look at this deepfake. It's really, really good. Now remember, this guy's only had 3 days. And to accomplish this in 3 days, look at the difference between the eyes. Absolutely, there's a glint of humanity in there compared to this. It's kind of like soulless. It's a bit too dark. But straight out the gate, that is amazing.
Are you a Jedi?
Just a bit. Now this really shows it off. Now some of the reflections and the coloration of the skin, some of it looks slightly matte, some of it looks slightly glossy. Now just to me it makes his nose look slightly greasy. And now it's an amazing job that they've been able to use CGI to create almost like a greasy reflective skin, but it's not consistent, I don't think. You know, in my opinion, it's matte around here and slightly glossy around here, and then the darkness around the eyes. Now I know they've really tried to match the light, but it just pulled me out of the scene. But when we go over to the deep fake, it's such more natural soft lighting, and the eyes look way more it just looks more alive. It's just the shadows down there. Even his lips look healthier. You know, they actually look like they've got blood flowing through them. Where this is good, but you know, it's not 100%. But this is already a vast improvement.
Yeah.
Oh, little Grogu, gonna miss you, buddy. Even that blink. Let me see. Can we go back to that blink? That natural blink. That was great. Let's have a look here. That looked incredible on the original. When you watch that in real time, it looks a bit weird, but that looks so more natural. That's incredible. That's great.
Come, little one.
Deepfake's amazing.
He doesn't want to go with you.
Oh, that's a bad frame.
He won't.
Let's get some eyes. Now this is what I was talking about. The glint, the sparkle. Look how alive. Look how much emotion is conveyed in these eyes compared to this. There's hardly any reflection. The shadows are really off. The lips look a bit darker. It just, in comparison, the skin tones and everything on a deepfake is really, really good. Now, this fan editor is Shamook. Now, like I said, he's done some incredible stuff before, and the fact that he's produced this in 3 days. I mean, I know he's not happy with it. He's really rushed it out to try and show fans what he can do. But just to accomplish this in 3 days is incredible. Now, I've seen some other fan editors do this, and they've basically blurred out some of the hairline because they couldn't match the face up properly. But he's done a fantastic job here. That looks perfect. It looks great to me. The nose and the shadows are fantastic. The lips look way more healthy, and the glint in the eyes is brilliant. Absolutely brilliant.
Wants your permission. He is strong with the Force, but talent without training is nothing.
Now, what happens with deep fakes is that they can only map the facial movements of the original. If this was a real person and then he could deep fake onto that, the lip sync would have been way better. But because it's CGI, the mouth movement was slightly robotic, and so obviously he can't fix that. He can only go by the facial maps and the points in the face from the original. But I'm sure if he had whoever played this character originally, if he had that footage, I reckon that he could really do some amazing stuff. But it's still worlds ahead of where the original was. Again, look at the spark in his eye. That's Luke to me. That is Luke.
I will give my life to protect the child,
Beautiful.
but he will not be safe until he masters his abilities.
I love that. Even the movements, I know he hasn't got it right, but even the movements of his mouth and eyebrows were brilliant.
That's who you belong with. He's
Look
one
at
of
that. Look at that. There's so much more life in this deepfake. Wow. I'm very impressed. 3 days. 3 days.
I'll see you again. I promise.
It still gets me, that scene. Now look at that. That is a way more natural nose shape for Mark Hamill. There's too much shadow here. If you flick between the two, it's incredible. The whole shape of his face, his jawline looks very similar, but they're just those subtle changes brings him to life more, especially the mouth and the lines in his smile. That's amazing. That is wow. That's very impressive. 3 days. R2! Beautiful. Again, this is the part that I really didn't like. This scene here, it really got It was like Battlefront 2 for me. Like I said in my review, I thought the shading was off, the coloration was off, just the shape of his face. But here, this is just way more. Look at the natural lines and the coloration. That's great. You know, like this again. It looks soulless. You're looking at Grogu, the most adorable thing in the world right now, and these eyes just look dead. But in the comparison to the deepfake, he looks like he already cares and looks like he's going to look after him. We know he will. And there, again, completely worlds apart. Completely. The reflective, greasy nose. And the eyes. Oh, man. I'm in awe. Shamook, well done.
May the Force be with you.
May the Fourth be with you, most definitely. Absolutely incredible. Absolutely incredible. Like I say, Shamook's done some really incredible stuff. I'll leave the link to the original video in the description. But that just means that I can now, hopefully with his permission, get that footage so I can add it to the original. And the finale, without the uncanny valley and adding this scene to it, that to me is more perfect than any fan could ever have asked for any Star Wars, be it Mandalorian or any spin-off series. That for me, I know I was talking about Sebastian Stan. It was only because I was really hoping it was going to be in, because I knew the directions that they could go in. You know, that I'm thinking about the continuity and how they could introduce Sebastian Stan into the newer generation of Star Wars fans, and just to keep that continuity. Now I know they're going to look into doing some kind of Luke spin-off series with the feedback the fans gave with this, the emotional heart and soul that I mean, just go on the internet, see so many people jumping around, and this is Star Wars. This is what the fans wanted before J.J. Abrams came in, and I can't even remember his name. Rian Johnson, the most forgettable man on the planet. Yeah, Rian Johnson literally just threw away all the hopes and dreams of the Star Wars fans. But adding this to that finale with the facial changes. Now I was going to do the facial change in chapter 15 today, but when I saw this came out, I had to do this video. So hopefully you've enjoyed this. If you did, give it a thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe, because I'm still trying to get to 1,000 subscribers so I can unlock the community tab and share with you loads of edits that I've been doing myself. And hopefully the next video will be The Mandalorian, with Din keeping his mask on throughout the whole of the season up until that point. And then we'll get back to Rise of Skywalker. Anyway, take care of yourself, and I'll see you again soon.